guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, I hope you are doing absolutely great. This is the last month of the year and you should be very thankful and expect greater things. Just in case you're not, you should be doing great. So, to my old subscribers, thank you very much. And if this is your first time seeing this face on your screen, thank you very much for coming around. Please consider subscribing to my channel and do always come around to support me. So let's go straight to the content for today. On this one, I'm gonna be talking about certain food to improvise abroad. It gets difficult for us certain times finding the food we want, although I think most countries have African stores, but it's quite more expensive. So sometimes we just want to improvise and then get what we want. It's like we are home. If you watched my last video, I talked about things to know before going abroad. And you don't want to go with a lot of luggages. No, you don't want to start going with a lot of foodstuffs and that, because you probably will be spending a lot at the airport, and just in case you're not prepared to pay all of that, you will be missing out on certain things to go abroad with. So if that's your case, yes, there are food you can improvise abroad, and that's exactly what I'm talking about on today's video. Alright, let's go straight to it. I'm super excited, such a foodie. Alright, my fellow foodies, let's go. This is sesame seed. I'll be using sesame seed in place of white melon seed, which some of us call egusi. I'll prepare this the same way I prepare my white melon seed soup. Blend it the same way, fry everything, just any way you know you cook yours, prepare it that same way. So this is what it looks like raw before I blend the sesame seed. So I think you can get this in the market, in the mall. It's more accessible. You don't need to go to an African store to get this. Alright, I will show you the process, but I'll show you what it turned out like after I was done cooking. This is the outcome. Yes, this is what it looks like. If for those of us who are familiar with white melon seed soup, which is the egusi soup, you will know this is more like it. Like, this is so much like it. I was so excited. This was my first time giving it a try, so I was like, okay, a friend of mine introduced this to me. I was like, okay, I'll make a video and share with you guys. And yes, I'm proud to say it turned out it turned out even more than I expected. So you can give this a try at home and see what it tastes like. You can barely differentiate, actually, except for those who are so much familiar with egusi soup, which is the white melon soup. Alright, the number 2 thing I want to share with you on how to improvise is your pap, your custard. We know that it might be difficult to get pap and custard abroad, but don't worry, you can get cornstarch. Cornstarch can be gotten online, which from your online stores or in the mall. So just say you want to get cornstarch and prepare it the same way you prepare your pap or custard. Just mix in cold water, then hot water, just the same process. You don't have to do anything different. So this is mine after I mixed it in water, which is cold water, and then I'm going to be adding my boiled water to it, and then you guys are going to see what it turns out like. It's actually white in color. So this is the outcome after using my hot water on it. It looks so much and tastes so much like custard and pap. So maybe it's not the actual things, but you can barely differentiate. Like, you feel like you're eating the same thing. So the third one on my list is what else you can use to prepare a swallow. You don't have curry, you don't have powdered fufu, you don't have pando yam, anything. What else you can improvise that most of us are not aware about is your flour. This is the flour for baking. Like the same kind of flour you use to bake cake, you use for bread, buns, and all of that. You can actually use that for swallow. Just see how it goes. Like, just look at how I prepare mine. This is actually the plain flour. adding this to a very boiled water. I don't want to bring down my water from the gas, like it's still on fire boiling. So make sure the water is really, 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 really boiled. That's emphasis, you can see. So you don't want it not to be so boiled, otherwise you're having the sugary taste from it. Of course, it is carbohydrate. So just like cassava as well. This is something very, very edible. Don't find it weird except you are so picky, but you can give it a try before you conclude. So this is me preparing this, and then I'm adding my flour gradually to the very boiled water. My water is still boiling and it's still on fire. I'm just gonna keep stirring that in a manner that's help it to be very, very smooth. You can see how I'm doing now. You can turn yours whatever way you want. I'm using the wooden spatula we use, the same one we use for gari and all of that. So continuous turning and turning and turning, and this is it. This is the dough I got. So I felt like it wasn't smooth enough. I had to put my wooden spatula in cold water so that I can have the smooth feel from it. That was what I did there, and then I kept on turning my flour. And look, this is something you can hold on your palms and eat soup. Come on. This is something you can hold like you want to eat swallow. This is good to go. What more are you asking for? Although I have another second option which I'll be showing you guys on the next one. But let's be done with this one. So this is the finished look. I had to serve it on a plate, and that's what it looks like. We're good to eat. I told you guys there's an alternative. This is the alternative. The alternative is rice. You can use rice for swallow. It can serve in place of gari. This is my rice. I soaked my rice in a cold water. I first washed it and soaked in a cold water for about 2 to 3 hours. At least minimum of 2 hours, even if it's a small rice. But if you know you're gonna be making a lot, so at least add more time, 3 hours or more. So mine is just a little quantity. I've soaked it for 2 hours, and this is what it looks like. The next thing I will do is blend it. I know some of us already know about powdered rice, even those of us in this country, the one that is already blended in the market. But this is how I prepare mine at home if I won't buy it from the market. I soak and blend. Now this is my blender. I've added it to my blender, and I added another cold water to it to blend, not warm, not like any kind of hot water, just the normal lukewarm water. So this is it. I'll be blending it, and then let's see what next. So after blending, now I'll be adding, or I'll be transferring the blended rice to a pot. This is it. I kept on I'm stirring on fire. This is the blended rice in the pot, and it's on fire actually. I'm stirring and gradually, but it has to be on a low heat so that it doesn't get burnt. What I'm gonna be doing is keep on stirring until it makes a dough, like the kind of dough I want, how thick I want it to be. And least I forget to say, you don't have to use a lot of water to blend your rice, because if you use a lot of water, it becomes so watery. You want it to be slightly thick and not so watery and not too thick at the same time, so that when the dough is made, it wouldn't be so watery, except for those of you who like very watery swallow. But I'm out of that league. I do not like it very, very watery. I like mine kind of like, very, like not very thick, but kind of thick. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So you can see it's getting thick, like it's getting more thick. And they are kind of, dough and all of that. So this is it right now. This is dough, and this is how I want it to be. But we are not done yet, because this rice is still tastes raw. Like it's not very cooked yet. It's just not as watery as when we blended it, and it's a dough now. But what I'm gonna do right now to get it cooked and very cooked is add little water to the to the dough while it's still on fire. I'm gonna be adding little water to it, but before then I had to create some space so that it can every part of it can be cooked. You don't have to add a lot of water because you just need a very tiny quantity of water and the heat of that from it to get your rice, or yeah, to get your rice very cooked. If you use a lot of water to cook it, it's gonna end up very, oops, very watery. You're not gonna like it. Trust me, you're gonna be so like something else. So very little water. You're gonna see the quantity of water I'll be adding to this after creating the space. So yes, this is it. That is the quantity of water added to it. Very tiny. If you look very well, you see that the water you can barely even see where it stops because it's just at the bottom part of my pot. I'll cover this and let it heat for about 10 to 15, no, not up to 10, not 10 to 15 minutes, for about, this is just a little quantity, so it's going to be about 5 to 7 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes is if you're going to be making a bigger one, so mine is just little. All right, so that is it. At this point I felt it was already about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I had to check, and yes, yes, it looked cooked. When it's cooked, you're gonna know. Just if you're not just if it's your first time, just taste it. You feel the taste of raw rice or cooked rice. Yes, so I'll have to stir it again since it's cooked to get that proper smooth dough I desire to eat my soup with. So yes, okay, this is me stirring. So just keep stirring until you think it's smooth enough, and that is what you want. Like, good to go. Again, for the rice flour, I felt it wasn't smooth enough. I had to put my wooden spatula in a lukewarm water and kept, like, try to make it smooth. So that's what I was doing at this point. I wanted it smooth. I love my swallow to be very smooth. I'm gonna show you guys the finished look. So yes, I served it in a plate, and this is the finished look of my rice flour. This is good enough for soup, any kind of soup, as long as you think it tastes great to you. Because to me, this tastes great, except for the days I want to go to the African store and get gari, powder, fufu, and all of that. The next food you can improvise on my list is cooking your ofen sala, which is a white soup. Igbos call it ofen sala, and there are other tribes that cook this white soup. The Calabars, I think, cook it. I don't know about Delta. I think Delta do, but I know of Calabars. They cook white soup, and other tribes, yes. So that white soup, the Igbos actually use white yam for it, and I think other tribes actually use yam for it. So if you're among those tribes that use yam for your white soup, all right, this is something you can use in place of yam. Again, this is flour. This is the normal flour for baking cake and all of that. I'll be adding lukewarm water to my flour, which you can see on this video, and I keep on stirring until it is very smooth without seed. Don't add your water very gradually. If you add it too gradually, it will have the seed in it. Just look at it and guess the quantity of water you think is gonna be okay for it and add. So I cooked this the same way cook your ofe sala, like, or your white soup. Same time you add your yam, same time I added my um flan. This is the finished look. This is what it looks like. I don't know, but to me this looks and tastes like ofe salad, the same white soup. All right, so the next one on my list is anato seed. I'll be using anato seed in place of palm oil, and this is what it looks like when it's plain before added to my oil. This is natural and very edible. You can order online. You can go to the mall and tell them you want anato seed. How I prepare this is I add it to the oil, add it to my vegetable oil. This is the one I already have, so I added a little vegetable oil for the sake of this video. If you're gonna be doing yours from the scratch at home, what you have to do is add your vegetable oil to the pot, add your anato seed, let it boil. Immediately it starts boiling, when you see that bubble like that, just turn off your gas. The longer it boils, it turns back to the plain color vegetable oil. So you do not want that. But immediately it starts boiling like this, it turns red in color. So just turn off your gas at that moment and sieve. I wouldn't be sieving mine because I don't want to cook anything that has to do with palm oil or that requires palm oil. So, but you can see even from the side of the pot that this is already red in color. So this can actually serve in place of anything you want palm oil for. I know some of us here in Philippines call this asuetes, but the English word I know it as is anatu seed. So yes, for those of you in other countries, go for anatu seed and you are good to go. Alright, so that is it, and those are the food you can improvise abroad. I believe there are other food that we can possibly improvise and get what we want, but I'm not yet aware of that. So just in case you are the person who is aware of that, do not forget to leave that in the comment section. Yes, I really want to know more. I really, really do want to know. And I believe the other people wants to know. And there is totally nothing to be embarrassed about the food you improvise to get what you want. It's totally nothing to be embarrassed about. You just still living and then surviving abroad. So please leave that in the comment section. I do appreciate you watching this video and I'm super glad to have shared mine with you. Do not forget to give my video a thumbs up. Do not forget to comment. Very, very important. Do not forget to support me always. Subscribe and then turn on your notification bell. You want to know more videos I do have to post on my channel. Thank you very, very, very much. I love you guys a lot.